What's happening, guys? It's been a minute. Thought I would do a quick video with my thoughts going into this week. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting one, and we're seeing some pretty nice volatility right now. So I thought it was warranted that I just pop in and give my 2 cents on how I see the market unfolding right now. So just let's get straight to it. So I've basically done a composite here where I've anchored a volume profile to where the majority of the volume came in on this sell-off. And basically what this is showing is it's just nice way of sort of distilling and condensing information of where does fair value reside. So in this range that we are sort of trading in and we've been trading in for the last month or so, where is fair value for buyers and sellers? That's at about 23.59 at the POC. Where are we considered expensive? Where is it considered cheap? And that's what this value area high area represents and the value area low represents. And you can see it's also synonymous with this range high that everyone has also got sort of drawn on their chart. So just to jump into this, it's been a nice sort of move over the weekend. So I'm not so sure how much value we can take from that, but it is a move nonetheless. And right now we're currently trading above the range high and the value area high of this entire sort of range, which is good. It's a good sign for the bulls going forward. Here's my thinking though. I would not be ultra bullish right now despite what price is advertising, because it's not so much about the price level itself. I think a lot of people take too much, they put too much emphasis on price levels versus understanding or scrutinizing how that price was achieved. Now, this was off the back of a very, 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 very swift open drive. So I'll just go into the profile here to just show what I'm saying quickly. So if you go down here, this little highlighted area here represents the initial balance. All that is the first hour of trade, the range that was marked, the high, the low, etc. And you can see we had weekly open, new weekly open, very, very tight initial balance, which often leads to large breaks and can represent like a strong trend day to emerge, which could be the case here. But it can also indicate a bit of a stop run or a fake out. Now, I don't want to insinuate anything right now. Right now, all we can say is we've had a tight initial balance. We've got an explosive move, a quick open drive from weekly open, and this is what we have right now. Where am I looking to transact and take some trades right now? Well, I would say obviously a lot of shorts that had their stops clustered around here have now been blown out. I'm sure a lot of market participants have sort of been carried out here. Where are my next levels of interest? Well, we've got this sorry, excuse me a sec. Yeah, we've got this sort of cluster here, where we could see some sort of liquidity grab or whatever you want to call it. And then we've got this wick over here. You're at 23,000, let's say, give or take, 23,500. So I could see a scenario today going into New York where we get a nice little push up, a poke. And if we fail to auction and sustain the prices above here, well, then I would be looking to fade this all the way back down, probably into the POC at the very least. Any wicks or failure to sort of hold this level on a closing basis, any signs of weakness in microstructure up here, in my opinion, should not be taken lightly. I understand a lot of people on CT right now are very, very excited about the prospect of a range break. It's super possible, and I'm not refuting that. But let's not ignore the secular downtrend that has sort of crippled us for the last year, right? We are going down, and we've been doing this very often where we form these sort of consolidations and then we form a nice tight bracket and we break down. Form a nice tight consolidation, break down. So are we doing the same thing here? We'll have to see. But it is constructive nonetheless to see prices going up. We all like it when it goes up and it's nice, but we have to trade the chart and not our heart. So what I'm looking for now is if Bitcoin is able to sort of sustain a little bit more constructive price action. It pokes up here, gets a little rejection, and manages to hold this sort of 23K zone, then I would say that the chances of the probabilities of us moving higher into this area here and potentially even as high as 27K to fill out these sort of inefficiencies is on the cards. But I just want to say take whatever moves you're getting over here with caution. That's all I'm trying to say. If we move forward, I'm just going to talk briefly on the US markets. I'm not a macro boff by any chance. Sorry, I'm not a micro boff, so I don't use it often in my analysis per se. But it is good to have a pulse on what the God market is doing. And I call it the God market because, hate it or love it, Bitcoin is tied to overall levels of global liquidity, and you can't escape it now. Bitcoin is in bed with Wall Street, and that is just the name of the game at the moment. So it pays to understand what the broader market is doing. Interesting sort of close on Friday where we sort of formed this P distribution, which can indicate, patient passive sellers, but it can also indicate like a lot of, volume and buying coming in at these levels, potentially from people positioning long. So that's something to pay attention to. Not to mention as well, we've got this sort of thin region and profile below and a bunch of naked POCs, which could, act as a magnet for price. I think this week is going to be quite key. If I'm not mistaken, there's a few CPI reads coming out from central banks around the world. So, that's gonna have some sort of weight, I'm sure, on price. And we've also got key earnings, I believe, from some of the big companies like Bank of America, Netflix, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, etc. So for me, I think 3880, which is the previous monthly VWAP, is a key area. If we start to hold and consolidate above that zone, we've got some nice inefficiencies above. We've got this naked POC here at about 3,900, and we've got these highs here from the 28th of June in the 3,950 zone. I think as long as we remain below 3880 this week, which is this monthly VWAP, then I think pressure is down and we could test as low as 3700, 3730, and potentially even expose these lows down here. But we'll get there when we get there. But it is good to know and have a plan of, attack depending on how the cash open goes today. And there's just going to be a lot of volatility coming, so I just thought I'd get my thoughts out. Quick look at funding here and just basis. You can see this move is being pushed a lot by perps. If I just get the open interest on over here, you can see there's a big move coming out here. We've reached pretty high levels. I have a feeling my gut is saying that there is quite a lot of longs crowding into this zone here. So like I said, we'll go back to the first chart. I am expecting some sort of scenario like this unfold. Do I have criteria to go long? Well, I think the best thing that we can get upon confirmation is some sort of sustained price action above at least this area here, 22,500. Any failure to auction above that is going to be pretty troublesome, in my opinion, for the bulls, given what I deem to be quite aggressive positional data that I see at present. I hope that helps. I'm going to call it here, guys, and let's see what we get this week. Before I wrap it up, I just want to say big thanks to the sponsor of the video, BingX. You can check the link in the bio on Twitter. I'll also attach it in YouTube. If you find these videos slightly helpful in your analysis and you enjoy content like this, then do help me out and click the links below. Appreciate it. Have a good week. Take it easy. Cheers.